It's time for another Neptunia DLC video. No, it's not for the Rebirth games for a change. Today we're looking at DLC for Super Neptunia RPG. As usual, there are items and weapons you can buy for the game. But what interests me the most are the outfits and additional characters, so that's what we'll be focusing on here in this video. We'll go through 4 DLC, Animal Ears and Tails set, Additional Party Members set, Swimsuit set, and Sentai set. Each of these consists of separately attainable add-on content, like for example you can choose to only buy Vert's swimsuit. That does not apply to the Steam version though, where you can only get the sets. I think the sets are cheap enough that it makes sense to just get them. The footage here is of the PC version, but the information in this video applies to PS4 and Switch as well. We'll start with the additional party members first. The additional party members you get are Artisan, IF, and Compa. They start at level 1 and you have access to them immediately. Perhaps not exactly story-friendly since you can have them in your party before ever meeting them, but they do make the early game a bit nicer to go through. Normally the start of the game is a bit slow since you only have Neptune at first, and it takes a while until you have a full party, but that's not a problem with these characters. They're pretty strong for being only level 1, at least that's the impression I get. In my regular save game with the other characters being around level 30, Artisan, Iffy, and Compa still put out respectable damage. Being a bit farther into the game does make it hard to level up the DLC characters though. The problem is that there's a certain point in the game where a lot of enemies in the earlier parts of the game become more difficult. This is normally good, but that also means that your new characters will get one-shot killed basically all the time. I ended up leveling one character up at a time. Make sure you have lots of revives or save a lot. Either way, it's still really time-consuming and perhaps not worth it, unless you really want to have these characters in your party. Each character does have their own accessories and weapons that you can buy in stores, so it probably would help to invest in some good gear if you're in that position. I noticed that the additional characters also sport these pink C-shaped meters like the goddesses. No, you can't transform the DLC characters, but they do get a power-up with an appropriate animation. There is one little missed opportunity though. You know how with Blonde, when you have her out front, she heals the party a little bit? I think that would work really well if that happened with Compa as well, but that's not the case. All DLC characters are fully voiced in both English and Japanese, and thankfully the various outfit DLC we're going to talk about next also support the DLC characters, so you don't have to miss out on the outfits. The Animal Ears and Tails DLC gives you the ability to add fox, cat, dog, bunny, or mouse ears and tails on any playable character. It's purely a visual thing, so your stats are not affected like they are in most other games. If you go to equip one of the girls with them, you'll notice an extra slot for outfits. It's a cute addition to the game that's fun to play around with. I like trying to match the animal with a character's personality. For example, the dog ears work well with Neptune and Compa. I imagine Neptune being a funny yet also sometimes annoying little puppy that's constantly running around and wanting to play, while Compa would be more of a cuddly and friendly type of dog that occasionally does silly things. I thought way too much about this, but I don't care. I think it's kind of fun. I noticed that the ears often replace hair ribbons and other accessories. It depends on the character. The ears and tails also work with the swimsuit and Sentai DLC if you have them, which is really cool. With the goddesses, I noticed that the ears and tails go away once they transform. I would have liked if they kept them after transforming. Like the ears and tails DLC, the swimsuit DLC also applies to all characters. You just select the outfit like you do with the other one. Each character has their own swimsuit, which is a nice touch. Would be a bit boring if everyone was wearing the same thing. The swimsuit designs seem appropriate to each character's personality. For example, Vert's is a bit more daring compared to some of the others, and Iffy has something a bit more modest and sporty. There's been so many different swimsuits in the past games, but I'm pretty sure that these are all original designs unique to this game, though there's clearly similarities. Like I said earlier, you can also equip ears and tails in combination with the swimsuits. Lastly, it's the Sentai set. Pretty obvious to see where this comes from. Again, there's an outfit for each character. I like how the design and color matches that of each character. I mean, it better since 3/4 of the goddesses are named after colors. You can choose between helmeted and non-helmeted versions. If you have the Ears and Tails DLC, you can select those too. One observation I had is that every character retains their hair clip things with these outfits except for Blonde. Why is that? It's really noticeable since she's the odd one out. I ended up solving the problem with cat ears. And those are the Super Neptunia RPG add-ons you can get. I think these are fun additions to the game. I hope the video was helpful to anyone interested in them. For those who have played with these DLC, let me know what you think and if I've missed anything. Thank you to all the Patreon and Twitch supporters. There's so many Twitch supporters now despite my lack of streaming, so I feel compelled to mention them once in a while. Remember to check the links in the description for other things like my second channel, Twitter, and Discord. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video.